One man is being victimized by our own government. One man whom they fear, yet who millions love. One man who is willing to take the poison arrows of lawfare. One man whose voice has been taken away by a corrupt judge operating in a corrupt system. One man who has been ridiculed and insulted. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who stands between us and them. One man that wants to see America protected again. One man who wants to see America prosper again. One man who understands that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. One man who understands and protects the blessing of life. One man who wants to restore American exceptionalism. One man who once again wants to make America that shining city on a hill for all to see. A place where all the people of the world glowingly set their eyes upon. America. One man who unashamedly wants to make America great again. That one man is Donald Trump.
This is Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
I will vote for Donald Trump. Oh my God, I will vote. I will vote for Donald Trump. Oh my God, I will vote. I will vote. I will vote for Donald Trump. The people go out to vote, no fear no more. Vote for Trump. Let's go. Vote for Trump. If you want to keep America great, vote for Trump. Let's do it. I vote for Trump. Oh my God, I will vote. I will vote. Oh yeah, for Donald Trump. Oh my God, I will vote.
In case you're wondering, in case it crossed your mind, and you're thinking to yourself, Barry, why are you showing Miami? Trump's not in Miami tonight. My mistake, it's not Miami. Barry, why are you showing, some city in Florida? Nope, not a city in Florida. What you are looking at is the offended people of Puerto Rico. This was taken today in Puerto Rico. The people who, got offended by the joke, who don't know what they should be voting for. This guy who's a Nazi, a fascist, a racist. It didn't work. It didn't work at all. They're voting for Donald Trump. Wow, what a misfire again by Kamala and the idiot media. The bridge is basically filled with Trump voters. I just wanted to show that to you because it was amazing when I saw that. But it's only made more amazing by this. Wait until you see. This is one of the speakers earlier tonight in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
My name is Zoraida Buxo, and I am the Republican United States Shadow Senator from a beautiful island where I was born and raised. Indeed, a community very well anchored with steadfast conservative values of family, faith, economic freedom, and deep love of country.
Oops, y'all messed up. Y'all messed up big time. You tried to let everybody think that nobody in Puerto Rico, number one, they weren't faithful people, they weren't about family, and they were all offended by a joke at a rally.
Blessed by God, that is home. That is Puerto Rico.
And this is today.
So we won't get rattled. We won't yield to ignorance, foolishness, or irrational thoughtlessness. We will remain focused on what is really important. We all share a desire for change for the good. The course that our nation has been wrongfully placed by the Biden-Harris administration must be reversed.
How did they screw this up so badly? How did they all march onto MSNBC and CNN and CBS and ABC and think that they were going to get away with the gaslighting of America yet again? Did they not realize that the senator from Puerto Rico was a conservative Republican? And that most Puerto Ricans believe in God, believe in family. Not the baby removal transformer stuff you're trying to ram down people's throats. What a huge miscalculation.
Failed policies in the economy and energy production that have driven up your cost of living and that have you struggling every month to pay your bills. Failed policies in matters of border security, law enforcement, immigration that have...
Whoa. You mean there's Latinos out there that want border security? Oh, snap.
Caused a great deal of chaos, a surge in violent crime across the nation, drug smuggling, and that have you feeling unsafe and unprotected.
Wow.
That is the record of Kamala Harris as border czar and VP for the last almost 4 years in power. I feel your pain. I'm with you. The crisis that our nation is going through is not a result of a natural disaster. It's a direct consequence of the actions and omissions of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. There are close to 6 million Puerto Ricans stateside, in addition to the 3.2 million American citizens that live on the island. And nearly 500,000 have made the Keystone State their home state. We are part of the Hispanic American force of 65 million. We Hispanics are part of the soul of this country. We have made...
Did they not know this? Did they not know that the government in Puerto Rico was conservative? Did they really think that they could gaslight people into thinking Puerto Ricans were upset by that joke? I can't understand the amount of miscalculations that this campaign has had. It's like they're stepping on their toes every other minute.
A difference, and we will again make a difference in this coming election to bring about much needed change.
Wow.
with everything that is going on and will happen during the final stretch, it's easy to get distracted or misled by propaganda, emotional manipulation, and distortion of the truth and facts.
She just described the Kamala Harris campaign. The manipulation and distortion of truth and facts. They've trotted out everybody the day after the rally to make it seem as though Hispanics all across this country and in Puerto Rico were upset.
I urge you, thank you. I urge you to watch out and stay focused on what is truly important when you go to cast your vote. We need change, and Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are not the option to bring about the kind of change that you need and want, and certainly not the strong leadership that the United States as a nation needs during these times of turmoil. Kamala Harris's harmful record is there to see. She had so many opportunities as VP to improve your lives, even during the first 2 years with full control of the House and the Senate. Without a doubt, she failed to deliver. We don't need to take more empty promises, don't we? We don't need that. We don't need evasive answers to the questions for which we want direct answers. What we need is someone who can and will deliver results for all. Someone who has experience and a proven record of accomplishments, who kept inflation under control, who crafted a prosperous economy, who kept our borders secured, who will again achieve energy independence for the United States, who understands the complexities of the world economy, who can make a deal happen to end the war in Ukraine and bring stability to the Middle East region. And who's that man? That is Donald J. Trump.
Mic drop. You know, I pride myself on trying to bring you guys content that I know you won't see on the news. You may see it on X, but you may not see it on the news. I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, that could pop up somewhere, but I am pretty sure you will not see that on any of the mainstream news networks. They are not going to eat that kind of crow and come clean and show you the senator from the great Commonwealth, or not Commonwealth, territory of Puerto Rico saying, hey, yeah, we want Donald Trump. They're not going to show you the people on the bridge dancing. They're not going to show you any of that. Doesn't fit the narrative. To them, that's not news. To them, news was complaining about a joke that a comedian made. And to then keep saying it over and over and over. Meanwhile, if they would do their job and get off their asses and actually go talk to people in Puerto Rico, you got the budget, why didn't you fly somebody down to Puerto Rico and talk to some of the people? That's how you can always know they're full of crap. Every time they do a man on the street thing and they walk somewhere, they go into a barbershop or a restaurant, they're stunned. They can't believe it. They're completely stunned. And I have to believe this was an epic mic drop. When I saw it, I went, oh my goodness. Oh, she's in Allentown? She's there tonight? She's getting up in front of the 10,000 people in Allentown, in front of the fake news cameras, and saying, we're voting for Trump? Oh, I know the lights, all the red lights went off. Nope, hey, you can't cover this. Cut it, cut. We can't have that. Get out. If we have that get out, people are going to realize they're not really listening to us, are we? Nope, not listening to you, MSNBC. You talk amongst yourselves in your peanut gallery. CNN, same thing. You can't keep gaslighting and manipulating, as a woman said. Everything about the entirety of the Democrat Party right now is completely fake. They don't have any momentum. They don't have a groundswell. They don't have a movement. They don't have a mandate. They got nothing. Absolutely nothing. And all they're doing right now, and if you see it on Twitter, because you can get to it very quickly, today is why I've been pushing you guys to get to Twitter for so much. I mean, I keep telling you, get over there, get on X, because now you're starting to see what they're doing. There are videos, there are posts everywhere from people saying, hey, they told me I couldn't vote. Hey, they said I already voted. I didn't vote. Who voted? Hey, somebody took my thing. And it's becoming proliferate. They're everywhere. In Bucks County, Pennsylvania, the police cut the line and said nobody else can come in. And it was like 4:30 and they're supposed to take votes until 5 p.m. And people are like, what do you mean? How are you just basically sending out thugs and telling people they can't vote anymore? But unfortunately for them, everybody is walking around with one of these. Oh, let's go ahead and report this. We got the evidence on you. Now what you're going to do? Oh, we know what's going to happen. You're going to see the obligatory follow-up tomorrow with the, they made a mistake. You know, mistakes happen. We're only human. We didn't mean to just, suppress your vote. But, yeah, we did. Yeah, it worked. We made everybody get out of line. Telling you right now, do not get out of line. Stand there until you're supposed to get your vote taken. If it says it closes at 6, 6:10, 6:20, if you were in line before 6 o'clock, you stand. Do not comply. Make them remove you. Some people have been removed. But guess what? It's on video. All of their shenanigans right now are exposed. You know when I showed you earlier, I'm not sure if you were here earlier. Don't worry, Trump's not on. I'm keeping an eye on things. Do you remember this just a couple hours ago? I showed you the ballot box on fire, that it was burning. You may have seen it on X. Guess what? There's a closed circuit camera that looks at that ballot box. It focuses right there. It's up on the pole. Somebody has that videotape. Somebody can figure out who it was who threw the gasoline in there. Will they find out? I don't know. I'm not sure. And then there's some really weird stuff going on that really makes you go, as Arsenio Hall used to say, things that make you go, Colorado is doing some crazy stuff. Colorado is crazy stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, why would Colorado, a deep blue state, have to be doing some crazy stuff? Well, there's only one reason. They're getting flooded. The red wave is flooding Colorado to the point where they are freaking out and doing whatever they can to stop it. If they're going to get caught, when Trump wins, you're going to go to jail. No second chances. Nope, not going to happen. You're going to go to jail. Let me see if I can find that story so I can show it to you. But you're not going to see it on the news. You're not going to see anybody talking about it because they don't want you to know what is actually going on. Let me see if I can find it on X, because everything is on X. Everything. Colorado vote. Let me see if I can bring it up, because I like to show it to you guys. Where is it? Let me look to the latest. There was a big story. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Yep. This is huge. This is absolutely monstrously huge. All right. Breaking. This was at 7 p.m., so it was a little over 40 minutes ago. Breaking. Colorado voting machine passwords were leaked online by the Democrat Secretary of State. I'm sorry. Did you say the Secretary of State, like in the elected official? Okay. Specifically, over 600 passwords for machines in 63 of the 64 counties were posted for anyone to see. BIOS passwords, which is basically the back-end brain of a computer, are highly confidential, allowing broad access for knowledgeable users to fundamentally manipulate the system and the data and to remove any trace of doing so. Due to the sensitivity surrounding BIOS passwords, Colorado election regulation 8 requires limited access to select few at the Colorado Department of State.
From the lakes of Minnesota to the...
All right, he's coming up. While that music is playing, I can continue. Someone signed an affidavit swearing under penalty of perjury that they downloaded the file from Jenna Griswold's website and discovered the hidden tab by simply clicking unhide. Hey, Secretary of Fraud, Jenna Griswold, how about you start about upholding the laws in your state? I can't explain it. I can't explain it. We can come back to this afterwards as the man is beginning to take the stage. And I obviously don't want you guys to miss this, but who would have thought? Would you have even thought that in Colorado, deep blue Colorado, that this could possibly be happening? I wouldn't. I would never have imagined that in Colorado they would have to cheat. But they are. All right, so the music is playing, so we won't show that. Let me go ahead and get the other server ready just for the backup. Actually, we will move to server number 2 as server number 1, so we do indeed have the backup. Timed that pretty well. But yeah, we can talk about that Secretary of State in Colorado when Trump is done. He is on stage and looking good. Hey, man must be tired. I'm tired. He's running me ragged, and all I'm doing is sitting here on my butt. All right, so coming up, still the music's playing. As soon as he starts talking.
Thank you very much. Wow. Thank you.
Do me a favor and let me know how the volume is. Please let me know how the volume is.
Much. Wow. What a crowd this is. Look at this. These are incredible people. You're incredible people. Unbelievable. So many people outside would like to let him in. Would anybody like to give up their seat or their standing area? Well, a very special hello to Allentown, a great place, and hello, Pennsylvania. I'm thrilled to be back in this incredible Commonwealth with thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots. That's what you are. But I'd like to begin with a very, very simple question. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? I don't think so. I'm here today with a message of hope for all Americans. With your vote this election, oh, do I look forward to this election? Do we look? I'm going to say we, because we're going to do it as a group. Look, Mr. Wall over here, he's the greatest guy. I want to buy one of those suits. We will end inflation. We will stop the invasion of criminals into our country. And we will bring back the American dream. We're doing it together, Pennsylvania. Our country will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than ever before. This election is a choice between whether we will have 4 more years of gross incompetence and failure, the worst administration in the history of our country. Jimmy Carter is a happy man. Jimmy Carter looks like a brilliant, brilliant president by comparison. Or whether we will begin the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. We're going to turn it around, and we're going to turn it around fast. I'm asking you to be excited about the future again. You have to be excited about the future. They've taken all that excitement away from you. They've embarrassed us. They've embarrassed us. Kamala has embarrassed us. She doesn't have what it takes. I'm asking you to dream big again. You're going to dream big, and this is going to be a very special time. It's going to be America's new golden age. We're going to make it a golden age. It seems impossible, doesn't it? Doesn't it seem impossible with these stupid people that we've had to put up with over the last 4 years? We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. We were energy independent 4 years ago. Every problem facing us can be solved, but now the fate of our nation is in your hands. It's in your hands. If we win Pennsylvania, we're going to win the whole deal. Got to do it. Next Tuesday, you have to stand up and you have to tell Kamala that you've had enough. You're not going to take it anymore. Kamala, you're fired. Get out. Get out of here. You're fired. You're fired. Get the hell out of here. You were a terrible VP, but you were an even worse border czar. How about our border czar? And Border Patrol last week endorsed me with the strongest endorsement they've ever given. And they said that she was unfit to run the border. Can you imagine? I said, how many times did she call you in 4 years? Almost 4 years. They said, she never called us once. I said, how about you? No, she never called. She never called any of us, sir. Never called us. She was the border czar, but she never called. She's incompetent. She's incompetent. We've set an all-time record in the early voting, by the way, so if you have a mail-in ballot, get that damn ballot in, please, immediately, because they've already started cheating in Lancaster. They've cheated. We caught them with 2,600 votes. No, we caught them cold. 2,600 votes. Think of this. Think of this. And every vote was written by the same person. I wonder how that happened. It must be a coincidence. It must be a coincidence. And then in York, I know York because I used to be a big weightlifter. Then after about 3 days, I decided to give it up. It wasn't for me. That's where they had all the weights, right? They had the weights. I built that room. I loved building it. I enjoyed it so much. Then we put the weights down, and I said, I don't like that. That's no fun. I like building the room. I just didn't like lifting the weights. But York, they had a great bodybuilder. This was the bodybuilding capital of the world, right? Isn't it? Yeah. I wanted to be here as a contestant one day. I just didn't want to do the work. It's too much work. We had enough to do. But if not, get everyone you know to the polls on November 5th, and you have to vote, vote, vote. We got to vote. We got to get these people out of there. We got about fast. Today they're busing people. You know, they're in a place in Washington, and they got buses all up. They're busing people because they couldn't get anybody to show up for her tonight. I didn't bus anybody. You're all here. This place is packed. She can't get anybody. 3 days ago, she said Beyonce was coming. So people came to see Beyonce, but Beyonce went up, thank you very much, everybody, and then she left. She didn't sing. And then they all left. She was speaking, nobody, and they were booing the hell out of her, by the way. And the fake news doesn't report those stories. That's a lot. No, that's a lot. Look at that. See, we must be coming. That is a lot of fake news. When they lose their final ounce of credibility, they'll probably turn good again because they're losing so much credibility. Do you know when I first started running, their approval rating, when the very beginning, before maybe I even started, it was like 92% favorable rating. You know what it is now? 12%. I drove it down like almost 90 points. I drove it down numbers. I'm very proud of it. I've exposed them as being fake. But with your help, 1 week from today, we're going to defeat Kamala Harris and the media. And we're going to win back that beautiful, beautiful White House, and we're going to make America great again. In less than 4 years, Kamala has shattered our middle class. You notice I don't mention Joe, Crooked Joe. He's so crooked, it's hard to believe. Because they basically took the presidency away from me. You know, they just walked up and said, "You're not running anymore." I don't use the word coup. It's too Frenchy sounding for me. No, they just took it away. I like that better. They took it away. They walked in, they said, no, he had a rough debate. I would say it was rough. But after the debate, he went down very big. And, you know, he should have been allowed. He got 14 million votes. He got no votes. He was the first one. Look at that front row, Joe. This guy, these guys are unbelievable. They follow me. They follow me all over the place. But he's in the second row. What the hell happened to you tonight? Front row Joe that's a big story. The press is going to get you. He's a great guy. They're patriots. The front row Joes and the ladies from North Carolina, they've been here 259 times, and they're beautiful. They're beautiful. And we have Mr. Wall. I'm going to buy one day, I'm going to buy that suit, but I don't have that much time left because hopefully we're going to win, and then we're not going to be playing games anymore. We got to straighten out our country, so we're going to be meeting, but a different forum. We're going to be meeting as I tell you how well we're doing, how we're winning. We're going to win big. We had the best economy in history. We're going to make it much better than even that. We're going to bring all these companies that left us because of stupid politicians on our side. They allowed it to happen. They're all coming back, either that or they're going to have to pay tariffs like they never had to even think about before. Kamala cast the deciding votes that launched the worst inflation of your lifetime. I believe it's the worst inflation in the history of our country because they don't show the real. It's like, did you see about a month ago, they came up with 818,000 jobs that were fake. They put them in. These are cheaters. And today they got caught. Think of it. They got caught cheating in Lancaster County. They got caught in York. But think, it's no different. Think of it. They put in 818,000 fraudulent jobs. So the job reports came out and said, oh, they're doing pretty good. That's good. That's good. And they weren't going to adjust. You know, you adjust when you find out that somebody was a fraud. You adjust. And they weren't going to do it until right after the election. But we had a whistleblower that blew the whistle on them. Really dishonored. You know, I always say we meet to decide where we're going to campaign, what we're going to say, how we're going to... They meet, how can we cheat? This is their meeting. Because who the hell can win an election with open borders, transgender everybody, men playing in women's sports? No, think of it. Men's allow millions of people through an open border, totally unvetted, totally unchecked. They come from parts unknown. They come from countries you've never even heard of, and then you find out that they came from jails and mental institutions. No, they cheat like hell, and it's a damn disgrace. So we're going to get it straightened out. We got to get it straightened out. No, they caught us in Pennsylvania. We haven't seen it elsewhere, but we've seen it. And by the way, just to feel good, I don't like to speak too early, but you have to get out and vote because we need that real. We want a big, beautiful number. We're leading in every single swing state. Because normally Republicans, they like to vote at the end. No matter what you say, they like to vote at the end. They like to be there on Tuesday where they can watch it actually go into that beautiful, often corrupt machine. No, we're going to get it straightened out. Kamala cost the typical American family over $30,000 in higher prices because of their ridiculous inflation. And listen to this, they killed 50,000 manufacturing jobs just this year alone. They're killing our country. And Scott Bessent, one of the biggest and best, one of the most brilliant. Oh, look at that. They know him. It's not a huge amount of people. It's pretty good. Whoa. Oh, wow. Scott Bessent, he's one of the great Wall Street analysts, considered one of the best. He said, the economy is no good, but the stock market is only going up for one reason, because everyone thinks that Trump is going to win the election and we're going to take it to new levels, they say. That's what he said. It's true. You want to see a market crash? If we lost this election, I think the market would go down the tubes. Now, Kamala, she says, God forbid. God forbid. I like you. Who are you? Stand up. I like this woman. Thank you. God forbid. Thank you, darling. She's got a lot of spunk, doesn't she? Thank you, darling. She said, I say, if we lose this, and she starts screaming, God forbid. Do you think she's voting for Trump? I think so. Thank you. Thank you, darling. You are something. We have the greatest people, don't we? Greatest people. The other day, Madison Square Garden on Sunday night, and we had them all. That was the greatest evening anyone's seen politically. I mean, Madison Square Garden is really big. It's big, and it's beautiful, and it's MSG, and the Dolan family, Jim Dolan, they were so nice. They said they've never seen a crowd like this. The thing went all the way back to the river, and I don't mean like single line or doubles. I mean like massive amounts of people went back to the Hudson River. The love was unbelievable. We had Elon. We had incredible people. Elon. You know, Elon Musk has been campaigning every single day in Pennsylvania. He's a great guy. You know, when that rocket landed last week, I saw that rocket land. I said, this guy, if that's his, I got to call him. I said, was that yours? He said, that was mine. That sucker came back down. I thought there was something wrong. I told people I was on the phone with somebody. I put it down. I forgot about the guy. He was a very important guy. 45 minutes later, he's still holding. Oh, but you still hold it? I said, I got to watch this. Excuse me. And I saw it come down, and it looked like in big trouble, right? It came down. It was all beautiful white when it lifted off, and now it's coming down. It's dark black because of the heat. 10,000 miles. Think of that, 10,000 miles an hour, as opposed to we drive at 50 or 60, right? 10,000 miles an hour. The heat is so hot you couldn't even get near it. You couldn't touch it. It's coming down, and now it's baked. Totally different looking machine, right? And it's coming in. And it's going to crash. I'm saying, oh, no. It's going right next to the gantry. It's coming down at an angle. I don't like that. It's not good. But what the hell do I know? It's up to Elon, not me, but it's coming. And then all of a sudden you see the fire and the jets go in the bottom, and fire's ripping ripping it apart. Ripping it. And the fire's just ripping the bottom of it and pushing it away. It was right next to ripping the whole gantry down. The whole thing was going to come crashing down. And those jets went off, and the flames and I never saw anything like it. And it straightened it out. Then it came, and those beautiful arms came, and they hugged it like you would hug your little beautiful baby. Like you'd hug a baby, see? I stay away from the other thing that you hug on occasion. No, it's like you're hugging your beautiful baby. Just hugged it right in there. So I call him. I say, that was you, wasn't it? Yeah, that was me. Can Russia do it? No. Can China do it? No. Can the U.S. do it other than you? No, nobody can do that. I've never seen anything like it. I said, so why do you do that? That was a stupid question. Why do you do that? Well, you know, it costs about $1 billion to build the sucker. It's nice when you don't drop it into the ocean and have to start over. It's nice to be able to use it about 30 times more, right? Now, he's a fantastic guy, and he's a part. He gave me the best endorsement, virtually, of anybody. He said, if Trump doesn't win, our country is gone. Think of it. Thank you. And he's campaigning. You know, he put on the black hat, right? Now, I never even knew we sold the black hat. The red hat, yes. The white hat, yes. But I never knew he had a black hat. And see, he's just a different kind of a guy. And he has a black hat, and it says, "Make America Great Again," but it's also in black. So it's very... So I said, "Where'd you get the hat?" He said, "It's dark MAGA." That was the name. And he wore it to Butler. We had 107,000 people in Butler. Can you imagine? We had 107,000 people in Butler celebrating the life of a great gentleman, a great fireman, Corey, a great firefighter and respected guy. Yeah, that was a beautiful thing. 107,000 people. And they came from all over. I mean, it was, you know, because it's not a very sparsely populated, you know, it is sparsely populated. And it's not lots of people there. And man, you couldn't see the end of the cars. You couldn't see the end of the crowd. It was so beautiful. The whole thing was beautiful. We had the opera singer there. We had the bells. I said, we're going to do a moment of silence. Give us some bells. Okay, sir, we'll try buying them. And they couldn't buy like the bell. The biggest bell they could buy was like that. I said, no, the bells of Notre Dame. They say, we can't get them here, sir. They're too heavy. They're too heavy. They happen to be taken right now. I said, no, just get them off the internet. Don't worry about it. And it's amazing what you can get off the internet. We had the bells playing, and we had Christopher. We had the great opera singer. He's a great singer. He's a great voice. And he sang Ave Maria. And the whole place, I'm looking at 107,000 people. I would say 100,000 of them were crying. And the other 7 are beyond, you know, they're too tough for me. I don't like those 7,000. Everybody was crying, and it was a beautiful thing. But Elon's wearing the black hat, and the good news is this: we didn't sell any. He was the only one that bought one. After that weekend, you know what? We sold 10,000 black hats the following day. Can you believe it? There was a run on black hats. Boy, do we have great congressmen and senators here today. This guy Rubio is pretty good, isn't he, though? Huh? I watched him in the plane coming in, and I wanted him to speak again. I said, they don't mind hearing you twice. That's how good you are, Marco. But at a minimum, Marco, when it's your time, I'm going to bring you up and shake your hand, because he has been a great senator, and he's a great guy. True. It's true. He's a great guy. Smart guy. He's a smart guy. Sometimes he's a little too smart. He's a good guy. He's a good man. Thank you, Marco. Now, Kamala wants to raise the typical family's taxes, by the way. You know, every time she does a commercial, she lies. She's a real liar. She's worse than Crooked Hillary. Crooked Hillary was a liar. Remember? Remember? Irredeemable. What was the word before irredeemable? Right? I thought irredeemable was going to be the bad word, right? Little did I know. Little did I know. But Crooked Hillary used to lie a lot, but she's nothing compared to Kamala. And the difference is Crooked Hillary is much smarter, but she suffers from a major case of Trump derangement syndrome. Now, she's got big, they all do. Well, these Democrats were driving them crazy. We don't like them because they don't love our country. Now Kamala wants to raise the typical family's taxes by nearly $3,000 a year and impose a 33% tax hike on all domestic production. And she wants to get rid of, you know, I gave you something that's great. If you're a small farmer, if you're a business owner, small business owner, estate taxes were killing you because you pass away. If you love your child, I would say don't even bother listening. If you love your child, good. If you don't love your child, it doesn't matter. Then don't leave the stuff. But if you wanted to leave your estate to your beautiful kids, which most families, does anybody in here not love their child or their children? I've only had one hand raised, and about 20 times I asked that. And people beat that person up. They actually went after him. That guy was in bad shape. And because I actually think he meant it. No, but you know what? They want to get rid of the estate tax. So you have no estate tax to pay if you leave your farm to your kids, if you leave your business to your kids. You have no estate tax to pay. She wants to get rid of that. She doesn't like that. And you know what was happening, especially with the farmers, because they leave their beautiful farm and it's it's got asset value, but it's a hard kind of a business, but a beautiful business. And they'd leave, think of it, they'd leave their farm, and then the kids have to go out and they had to borrow money because you had like a 50% tax. So they appraise it, you have to go out, borrow money. And they end up always like 80%, 82% of the time or something, they end up losing the farm. It turns out to be a nightmare. I got rid of the estate tax or the death tax, so you don't have that anymore. And she wants to get rid of that. She's a tough guy. She's a tough one. She destroyed the city of San Francisco, it's one of the greatest cities of the world. She destroyed it, and she worked with Gavin Newsom, one of the worst governors in history, to destroy California. And we're not going to let her destroy the United States of America. We're not going to let her. If Kamala gets 4 more years, your family will never, ever recover. And by the way, Michelle Obama was very nasty to me. Ooh. Oh, she was nasty. I've gone out of my way to be nice to Michelle. I've gone out of my way to be nice to Michelle. Never said a bad thing about her when other people didn't like her so much. And she hit me the other day because they're desperate. They don't want Trump back because we're going to turn this country around and show how bad they were and how incompetent they were. But she hit me. Now, the fake news doesn't care about that, but if I hit her, they'll say, oh, what a horrible thing it was. She can hit me, she can go, and she can say whatever the hell she wants. If I hit her just a little tiny bit, oh, he's a bully. He's a bully. Nah, she shouldn't have done that. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. Right, Mr. Wall? Can't do that. Can't do that, sir. If I win, we will quickly build the greatest economy in the history of the world. We will rapidly defeat inflation, and very simply, we will make America affordable again. We're going to make it affordable again. I will massively cut taxes for workers and small businesses, and we will have no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our seniors. Right? And I've just announced that I will support a tax credit for family caregivers who take care of a parent or a loved one. You know, these people are just not recognized. If they had to go through the hospital system, the people they're caring for, we wouldn't have hospitals. You could build hospitals every day in America. You wouldn't have enough. They take care of our country. They really do. And we're going to get them a big, beautiful tax credit. And they do it with love. No hospital could do the job. They do it with love. They have great love, and they take care of people. And they're entitled to it. They're entitled to it. They can't go out and work. They can't do it. They have to watch, and they have to stay home. Oftentimes, it's a beautiful but wounded soldier. Soldiers come back, and they're in bad shape, and their mother or their wife sometimes is incredible. Call them angels. They're angels that do this. The mothers, they take care of them. They have to take care of them. And we would have no hospital system that could do it. So they're entitled to it, right? We got so many other things we can do. We don't need that. We don't need that. You know, we have so much liquid gold down there. We'll drill so much. We'll knock the hell out of everything with that. I will also restore the SALT tax deduction. I don't know if you know what that means, but just trust me, it's a good thing. Most people have no idea. They say, what is SALT? You don't want to know about it. It's a big deduction, and your state got, pretty battered by it. And we're going to restore it for you and for New York and for some other places. Starting on day one of my new administration, I will end Kamala's war on Pennsylvania energy. And we will frack, and drill, baby, drill. We're going to drill, baby, drill. I've only seen her 100 times saying, we will never frack again. We will never. We are going to stop fracking. We're not going to frack. We're not going to frack. We're never going to frack again. Then her polls, drop to you only have 500,000 jobs in Pennsylvania, and the income is like you can never replace it. So she sees the polls. I think fracking would be a wonderful idea. She's such a phony, it makes you sick. And she's also crushing your energy industry with the vicious natural gas export ban. You're under this ban. It's the craziest thing. And it's costing your state a lot of money. Now, with me, one thing I'll never be stopping fracking. You know that. I've been very consistent for about 25 years. Drilling and fracking is good. I was with somebody from Saudi Arabia recently, one of the top people. I said, when you buy the 150 planes that you just bought, magnificent Boeing 777s, I said, where do you get your financing? He looks at me, financing? He didn't know what financing was. They don't finance, they have money. We have more oil and gas than they do. And you know what? If you include Anwar in Alaska, it's the biggest oil find in the world, as big as Saudi Arabia. And I opened it. Reagan couldn't get it done. He worked so hard. Nobody could get it done. I got it done. Then this guy, the biggest in the world, as big, they say, maybe as Saudi Arabia. And we could have taken care of all of Asia. We would have made so much money. This guy comes in, he doesn't know what the hell's going on. Where am I? Can't even find the stairs off a platform, and he tells you, no, he can't. Look, stair, like 4 stairs behind us. If you have to, you could jump off the front. You could probably. The guy can never find his way off. Secret Service has to come up and take him off. It's terrible. I will terminate the Green News scam, and I will cut your energy prices in half within 12 months. Going to be cut in half. And to bring back millions of jobs, we will give our companies the lowest taxes, the lowest energy costs, the lowest regulatory burdens, and free access to the best and biggest market on the planet. The problem is, if we had more of these idiots running our country, you won't have a big and best market anymore, because we're a nation in decline. We're going to turn that around. So you're going to be so proud of this country. And within 12 months of us taking over, you're going to be so proud of this country. But we're only going to treat. Thank you. Thank you. While you guys were shouting, I was checking out my hair. Not that bad. Not that bad. I'm looking for a little skin in there, and I don't see it tonight. I'm very happy. I'm very happy. Not bad. No. Not bad. Not the greatest. Thank you very much. This is a feisty little crowd, isn't it? I wish the fake news would show the crowd. You could go to the far reaches of the place. The stadium is massive. But they don't want to do that. They never want to do it because they're fake. They don't want to do it. There's never been anything like it. And we're going to stop with the joking. I'm going to tell you, it's sort of sad. We've been on this journey together. Almost every one of us has started together, right? And we've been doing it for 9 years. This is the final week. We're 7 days. Now we'll be 6 days tomorrow. And when you think about it, we've created the greatest movement in the history, probably of mankind, but certainly within the United States. MAGA, Make America Great Again. There's never been anything like it. We never have empty seats. We go to the biggest arena. Look, we go to Madison Square Garden. Everyone said, oh, that's so big. We could have filled it up 6, 7, 8 times with all the people trying to get in. Who ever thought? It's the greatest political movement in the history of our country, and maybe, especially if we win, this will be the greatest movement, I think, in the history of the world, okay? It's never been anything like that. And we're going to miss these giant rallies. I love the rallies. Sometimes they'll have me do like a Q&A. I'd get to a place and there'll be a Q&A, and I'll say, gee, I love those rallies. I don't know, it invigorates all of us, right? Everyone here. And we're only going to be doing them for like a few more days, and then we have a different kind of get-together. We're going to have a get-together where we're going to talk about all the good things we're doing. It's going to be a very positive thing. But this is something that's been a special journey for all of us. I think for all of us. You have people that have been to hundreds of these. You have people that have been, you have the front row Joes, they've been to everyone. I think, look at these guys. They've been to everyone. And it's just special. And, you know, all my geniuses backstage, they think it's them. Oh, they did. I said, take a regular guy, take a regular politician. Let's see how many. So what's going to happen is in 4 years, somebody's going to be running for president. They're going to hire these guys because they think they're great. And they're going to come and they're going to do a rally and there'll be about 300 people show up. Because that's the standard. If you took the greatest politician in the United States in history and you said, we're going to make a speech in Pennsylvania tonight, you'd have 300, 200, maybe 400 people if they were great. We get every time 25, 30, 40,000 people, 100,000 people in Butler. 110,000 people in California, where the elections are so rigged, it's disgusting. We were out there, we had 110,000 people in California 3 weeks ago, 110,000. We had in New Jersey, 107,000 people. But that Butler rally was something special, I would tell you. That was something. That was special for a lot of reasons. And if these companies don't make their products here, then they will pay a very stiff tariff when they send their products into the United States for the privilege of competing with our workers and our protected companies. We're going to protect our companies, and we're going to protect through very strong tariffs. We're going to protect our whole system. And by the way, China does it and others do it. But we can do it better because we have a better product. We have a better product. The product is the USA. We have a great product. And we'll also pass the Trump Reciprocal Trade Act. That means if China or any other country, it's not only China, it's everybody ripping us off. We changed it a lot. We changed it a lot. We renegotiated South Korea's deal, Japan's deal. We were in the process of the European Union. I'll tell you what, the European Union sounds so nice, so lovely, right? All the nice European little countries, they get together. They're brutal. They don't take our cars. They don't take our farm products. They sell millions and millions of cars in the United States. No. They are going to have to pay a big price. And you know, just like I stopped that plant that was going to be built in Mexico, biggest plant in the world going to be built. And I said, and I was in Detroit at the Economic Forum, at the Economic Club, and I said, they're going to build the biggest plant there. It's going to wipe out all of Michigan. We're way up tonight in Michigan. You know why? Because of things like that. Because if they built that plant, then Detroit and Michigan as a whole, I don't think they made as many cars as this one monster plant that was owned by China. It was near the border. They were going to make millions of cars and just keep sending them into our country and destroy our jobs, destroy our whole market. We already lost about 65% from the heyday. We're going to bring it back to the heyday. We're going to bring it back, and we can do it so easily and so smartly. And I said, I'm going to put tariffs on those cars. And if 100% isn't enough, I'll make it to it. They're not going to have one car come into the United States. They'll be sitting there with all these cars and never coming in because all they're going to do is destroy our automobile manufacturing business. And you know what happened? Today, the guy that built it, the other day, he calls me up. I see him. I say, what's happening with that plant? He's the biggest builder of these auto plants. I said, I want to see one. He said, you'll have to come to Mexico. I said, I want to go to Mexico. I want to see one here. He said, we're not building them in the United States. We're building them in Mexico. I said, who owns them? China. I see, so China now, in order to save the trip, is going to build them and then really knock the hell out of our car, which they're doing in Europe, by the way. They're killing them in Europe. He said, not going to happen. I said, I don't want to see it. I don't have to see it. How big is it? He said, the biggest in the world. I said, all right, let them know that I'm putting a 100% tariff on every car that they make. And if that's not enough, I'll double it. And I forgot about it. This was about 6, 7 months ago, and I forgot about it. Then I was making a speech the other day, and I see the same guy. He's the biggest builder of auto plants. That's all he wants to do is, if you told him build an apartment, he wouldn't know how to do it. But an auto plant, fully computerized. I see him at the speech that I'm making in Detroit, and I call him over after I finish. I said, John, let me ask you, how's that big monster doing in Mexico? He said, oh, sir, they canceled it last week because they think you're going to be elected president and you're going to put tariffs on. How about that? How about that? Is that beautiful? They canceled it. But if Kamala got in, they would restart it very quickly, believe me. She doesn't exactly think too much about that stuff, does she? If China or any other countries charge us a 100 or 200% tax, then we will charge them. This is the reciprocal act that we're calling it. I'll put my name on it if they want, or I'll leave my name off. I couldn't care less, but we're going to have a reciprocal tax. We're going to charge them the same 100 or 200% tariff or tax, called an eye for an eye. And all of the ripoff will stop immediately. And they're voting for Trump. But I'll protect our workers, I'll protect our jobs, I will protect our borders, I will protect our families, and I will protect the birthright of our children to live in the richest and most powerful nation on the face of the earth. And as we rescue our economy, I will also restore our borders. Over the past 4 years, Kamala orchestrated the most egregious betrayal that any leader in American history has inflicted upon its people. She allowed this to happen to us. She allowed us to be invaded. We were invaded. This was a massive invasion of criminals. She has violated her oath, eradicated our sovereign border, and unleashed an army of migrant gangs who are waging a campaign of violence and terror against our citizens. It's vicious what's happening. They're killing our people. Kamala has imported criminal migrants from prisons and jails, insane asylums and mental institutions from all around the world, from Venezuela to the Congo. Oh, the Congo. They're supplying lots. They're taking them out of their jails. They're opening up their jails, and they're busing them. They can't get enough buses, frankly, because I'm shocked. Venezuela is only about 60% empty. Do you know that Venezuelan crime is down 72%? You know why? Because their criminals are being taken into the United States of America. It's like, I said this, the press gave me a hard time on this one. They said it was very, no, I don't think it's disrespectful. It's like we're a giant garbage can. That's what they treat us like. And these are killers. These are drug dealers. These are gangs, gang members. These are some of the worst people. These are terrorists. And they're treating us and dumping. They're dumping like we're a dumping ground. And it includes savage criminals who assault, rape, and murder our women and our girls. And then they say, oh, my people said, sir, please don't say that. What? You're going to protect the women. It sounds very like, I said, well, don't they want protection? I think they want protection. No, don't they? Sir, it doesn't sound good. Doesn't sound good. I'm going to protect our women from criminals coming into our country and going up to the suburbs and doing really bad things. We're going to protect our men, our women, our children. We're going to protect our country. 100% protect our country. these vicious and bloodthirsty criminals in jail or kick them the hell out of our country fast. To expedite approvals of Tren de Aragua and MS-13, an equally savage gang. I took out thousands of them during my administration, thousands. And you know who's great? ICE and Border Patrol, they're great. But in order to do what we have to do, I will invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. Think of that. 1798, that's how far back we have to go. To target and dismantle every migrant criminal network operating on American soil, and we will do it so fast. And if they come back into our country, it's an automatic 10 years in jail with no possibility of parole. And I am hereby calling for the death penalty for any migrant that kills an American citizen or a law enforcement officer. Under Kamala, America is a sanctuary for criminal, illegal aliens. It's what it is. These sanctuary cities are just unbelievable. They're sanctuaries for criminals, not anybody else. I will immediately ban all sanctuary cities in the United States of America, immediately. I will end catch and release. I will end all migrant flights into our country with planes loaded up with criminal migrants. And I will ban all welfare and federal benefits for illegals, and then they won't come. Kamala's gross incompetence disqualifies her from being president of the United States. She is unfit for office. Everyone knows it. No one respects her. No one trusts her. No one takes her seriously. Everyone knows she is a low IQ individual. You know that. Low IQ. From humiliating our country in Afghanistan to the war in Ukraine, which would have never happened if I were president, to the nightmare on our border, to her inflation catastrophe, to her egregious hurricane response, worse than perhaps even Katrina. Just ask the people of North Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, South Carolina, Florida. Kamala Harris is a train wreck who has destroyed everything in her path. She's a total catastrophe. To make her president would be to gamble with the lives of millions of people. She would get us into World War III, which will be a war like no other war. This will be a war at a level that we have never seen before, that the world has never witnessed, because of the weaponry. This is no longer army tanks going back and forth and shooting it. This is the big deal. Because she is too grossly incompetent to do her job, and then all of your sons and daughters will end up getting a draft notice. Oh, Mom, Dad, what does this mean? Son, this means you're being drafted into the military so you can potentially lose your life fighting for a country that you've never heard of. How crazy is it? How crazy are we? We give money away to all of these countries so far away, but we don't have enough money to take care of the people of North Carolina during a hurricane. Our enemies are laughing at her, but if we win, our enemies won't be laughing anymore. They're not going to be laughing. They never laughed at us. Viktor Orban, the very powerful Prime Minister of Hungary, said, bring back Trump and everything will stop. All these wars, everything will stop. They respected him. He actually said differently. He said they feared him, but I don't care. What difference does it make? But you know what? They said they would do what he wanted. China was afraid. Russia was afraid. They're all afraid. And you know what? I don't want them to be afraid. I just want respect, and they're going to respect us again. Right now, they're laughing at our country. They're laughing at us. If we win, America will be feared and respected again. And on issue after issue, Kamala broke it, and I will fix it, and I'll fix it very quickly. But we're also going to make America healthy again. As many of you know, we have talked a lot about getting dangerous chemicals out of our environment and out of our food supply. Today I'm adding that we are going to tackle the exploding rates of childhood depression, suicide, and pediatric cancer. We have numbers that other countries don't have. We don't just want to manage these problems, we want to prevent them from happening in the first place. I will assemble the best and brightest minds, including Robert F. Kennedy Jr., RFK, with the goal of reducing by 50% within 4 years the rates of childhood cancer, depression, and suicide, and ultimately to end these epidemics entirely. They are indeed epidemics. We are not just running against Kamala, remember that, or Joe. She means nothing. She is purely a vessel. She can't put two sentences together. Just like we were not running against crooked Joe Biden. We are running against something far bigger and far more powerful and more destructive than them, which is a massive, vicious, crooked, radical left machine that runs today's Democrat Party. Very smart. They're smart, they're vicious, and they hate our country. These are the people who are doing such harm to our country with their open borders policies, record-setting inflation, Green New Scam, and everything else. But we are not going to let it happen any longer. We are going to have the biggest victory in the history of our country on November 5th. And we are going to make America great again. On top of it all, Kamala says she would not do one thing differently from Joe Biden, which in itself is totally disqualifying. Please.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
I stood there on the tarmac watching you check your watch.
The chaotic and deadly U.S. evacuation from Afghanistan stunned Americans and the world and cost the lives of 13 U.S. soldiers.
Would you have done something differently?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
More than 13,000 illegal immigrants convicted of murder have been caught at the border and then released into the United States.
An Afghan national is in custody today after being accused of plotting an election day terrorist attack. The suspect entered the U.S. on a special immigrant visa.
Gut-wrenching new details in the murder of Georgia nursing student Laken Riley. The illegal immigrant suspect, who cops say committed the heinous murder, is a Venezuelan national who crossed the unsecured southern border back in 2022. Two men investigators say are in the country illegally from Venezuela are charged with capital murder in the death of Jocelyn Nungaray.
A fifth illegal immigrant accused of attacking two New York City police officers over the weekend showed no remorse or regret.
Would you have done something differently?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Only 18% say the economy is in excellent or good condition. US inflation has hit a new 40-year high, increasing by 9.1% over the financial year.
Authorities saying Train de Aragua, which has been linked with more than 100 criminal investigations here in the U.S., has now been found operating its criminal enterprise in apartment complexes.
Were you the last person in the room? Yes.
Nothing comes to mind. What mind? You know that 325,000 children are dead, slaves or sex slaves right now. They came through the open border. That's many stadiums filled with 300. Remember that number, because if that were on the other side, like the Republican side, the fake news back there would make it the biggest story in the history of our country. 375,000 children are dead, missing, or slaves right now through her open border, and they don't even write stories about it. No, it's the worst thing that I've ever heard of, I think. If you want to end this disaster, you must get out and vote. You just have to get out and vote. We're going to beat them so badly. So we're thrilled to be joined by some incredible people. I already mentioned Senator Marco Rubio. Marco, will you come up here, please? Come on. Good man, this one. Thank you, Marco. Thank you. You want to say something? Go ahead.
Well, I wasn't going to say anything, but I have breaking news for you, Mr. President. You may not have heard this. Just moments ago, Joe Biden stated that our supporters are garbage. Are garbage. He's talking about the Border Patrol. He's talking about nurses. He's talking about teachers. He's talking about everyday Americans who love their country and want to dream big again and support you, Mr. President. And I hope their campaign is about to apologize for what Joe Biden just said. We are not garbage. We are patriots who love America. And thank you for running, Mr. President.
Wow. That's terrible. That's what it says. That's what it says. So you have, remember Hillary, she said deplorable, and then she said irredeemable, right? But she said deplorable, that didn't work out. Garbage, I think, is worse, right? But he doesn't know, you have to please forgive him. Please forgive him. For he not knoweth what he said. These people, it's terrible, terrible. Terrible to say a thing like that, but he really doesn't know. He really, honestly, he doesn't. And I'm convinced that he likes me more than he likes Kamala. Convinced. But that's a terrible thing. Also with us is a wonderful woman, highly respected Puerto Rico Senator Zoraida Buxo, who's terrific. Come up here for a second. She's fantastic. Great woman, so respected in Puerto Rico and beyond. Please. Nice to see you, man. Nice to see you.
It's an honor to share the stage with you, Mr. President. And we have some unfinished business to do with respect to Puerto Rico. And if there is a leader that can get us to a final resolution, that is you. That is you. So the people of Puerto Rico trust you, and we have high hopes. As many Americans, we need this man back in the White House. We need this man to be our commander-in-chief. He will make us feel safe, and he will protect us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Senator. Wow. Thank you. Highly respected person. And I'm so proud that we're getting support from Latinos like never before. We're setting every record. Hispanics, Latinos. Nobody loves our Latino community and our Puerto Rican community more than I do. Nobody. You know, it's interesting because I've done more for Puerto Rico than any president by far. Nobody close. I provided historic funding and the hospital ship when they were hit with a couple of really bad ones right in the road. We got the ship over there with thousands of rooms, actually. It was amazing. A floating hospital, the biggest in the world. I will deliver the best future for Puerto Ricans and for Hispanic Americans. Kamala will deliver you poverty and crime. That's all they're going to do. And by the way, she has slandered the people of the Catholic Church. I don't know what it is with Catholics, but they are after Catholics. But we're going to protect the Catholics too. We're going to protect. I don't know what you did, Catholics, but you're being persecuted by Kamala and her group. I will keep your families safe. I will defend religion. I will bring jobs, wealth, and factories back. And Puerto Rico in itself will be very thankful. The whole Hispanic, Latino community will be very, very thankful. And I appreciate we have numbers that nobody's ever had before. Nobody's ever had these numbers. No Republicans even come close. You take a look at some of our Republicans, they were at a tiny fraction. I may get 50% of the vote. Nobody's even heard of that before. And more and more and more and more. We're doing the right thing. Incredible people, energetic, smart, great entrepreneurial people. We appreciate, and we have a lot of them here tonight. Thank you very much. Latinos, Hispanics, Puerto Rico. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Senator. Thank you very much. And thanks also, I want to just thank some great people that are here, members of Congress. They're warriors. They're tough and they're smart and they love this Commonwealth. And they also love our country a lot. Dan Muser. Dan, thank you very much. Congressman, a fantastic man. How are we doing here, Dan? How are we doing? I think he says great. Yeah, we're doing great. We got to keep the cheating from these people. They're cheats. Keep it down. Watch it. Call the police if you see them doing it. When, not if, when you see them doing it. Wesley Hunt, you just heard. I heard his speech. Boy, that was a barn burner, Wesley. A great family, beautiful guy. Thank you very much. West Point, the whole deal he's got. He got the West Point thing going. Thank you, Wesley. And Republican National Committee Chairman Michael Watley, who you just met, and he is a fantastic man. Thank you, Michael. What a job. What a job, Michael. Hopefully we're going to have the biggest celebration next week that we've ever had in the history of our country. Right? Here are the facts. Kamala is a radical left Marxist rated even worse than crazy Bernie Sanders or Pocahontas. She destroyed our economy. She was an original creator of defund-the-police. And anybody who wants to defund the police for even a brief moment is not worthy of being president of the United States. We have to protect our police. Kamala vowed to abolish ICE. She wants to ban fracking in Pennsylvania. She wants to ban it. She's going to ban it. She will do it in 2 seconds if she lucks out or if they cheat their way into office. And as California Attorney General, she redefined, I don't know if you heard this, redefined the terms child sex trafficking, assault with a deadly weapon, and rape of an unconscious person as totally nonviolent crimes. She pledged to confiscate your guns and endorsed a total ban on handgun owners. This is all the stuff she wants. She's a Marxist. She's a Marxist. A lot of people say, don't use the term Marxist because people don't understand. Okay, she's a communist. She's a communist. And our country is not ready for a communist. It will never be ready for a communist. Remember, I used to say, we will never be a socialist country. At the State of the Union address, I said, we will never be a socialist country. And I like to be right, because I was right. We're not a socialist. She skipped socialism. She went right down to communism. She even called for free sex changes for illegal aliens in detention. All paid for by the taxpayers of the United States of America. And then what did she do? She lied about working at McDonald's. She never worked at McDonald's before. And I went to McDonald's last week. Did you see that by any chance? That turned out to be a big monster. And on top of all of this, Kamala tried to turn our military woke, but it's not woke. We defeated ISIS. You know, I'm the only president in 82 years I didn't start a war. When Hillary said, look at him, he's going to start a war. No, I said, I'm going to be the one that keeps you out of war. I'm going to keep you out of war. And I did. You didn't have a war. You didn't lose your children. You didn't lose your son or your daughter like others did with stupid leadership. No, we're going to really do something. In conclusion, with your vote this November, We're going to fire Kamala, and we are going to save America. We will cut your taxes, end inflation, slash your prices, raise your wages, and bring thousands of factories back to America and back to the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We will build American, we will buy American, and we will hire American. I will end the war in Ukraine. Should have never happened, would have never happened. I will stop the chaos in the Middle East. October 7th would have never happened. And I will prevent World War III very easily. I will prevent it. I know everybody. I know all the players. We can't have World War III. We have very, very stupid people running our country. We could end up, I'm actually worried about 3 months. They're still there. We will crush violent crime and give our police the support, protection, resources, and respect that they so dearly deserve. We will strengthen and modernize our military. We will build a massive missile defense shield over our country. And it'll all be made in the USA, and I promise Pennsylvania will get a big piece of it. We will rebuild our cities, including our capital in Washington, D.C., making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. We will teach our children to love our country, to honor our history, and to always respect our great American flag. And I will put forward a bill that anybody burning or destroying an American flag will go to prison for 1 year. We will get critical race theory and transgender insanity the hell out of our schools. And we will keep men out of women's sports. I will defend religious liberty, I will restore free speech, and I will defend the right to keep and bear arms, our Second Amendment. After years of building up foreign nations, defending foreign borders, and protecting foreign lands, we are finally going to build up our country, defend our borders, and protect our citizens and our land. And we will stop illegal immigration once and for all. We will stop criminals from coming into our country. We will not be invaded. We will not be occupied. We will not be overrun. We will not be conquered. We will be a free and proud nation once again. Everyone will prosper. Every family will thrive, and every day will be filled with opportunity and hope, and always filled with the wonderful and beautiful American dream. The American dream will come back. But for that to happen, we must defeat Kamala Harris and stop her radical left agenda with a landslide that is too big to rig, too big to rig. You need to get out and vote. For the past 9 years, we have been fighting against the most sinister and corrupt forces on earth. With your vote this election, you can show them once and for all that this nation does not belong to them. This nation belongs to you. This nation belongs to you. It was hardworking patriots like you who built this country. And 7 days from now, it will be hardworking patriots like you who are going to save our country. After all we have been through together, we stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years in American history. With your help from now until Election Day, 7 days. Oh, it's so nice. It's so nice. We will restore America's promise, and we will take back the nation that we love. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. We will never give in. We will never give up. We will never back down, and we will never, ever surrender. Together we will fight, 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 and win, win, win. November 5th will be the most important day in the history of our country. And together we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America healthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, Pennsylvania. Get out and vote. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
So the song he plays at the end of his rallies, obviously you guys must know by now, is the Village People YMCA. You'll never guess what Kamala played at her rally tonight. Yep, she copied him again. She played YMCA. But not for long, because I think the song YMCA is probably just about the same length as her rally. They spent all that money, built all that staging, bust all those people in for what basically amounts to a photo op. She was on stage for about 25 minutes, and that was it. All those people in Washington, most of them were government employees, lobbyists, and they all came together, whether they got on a bus or not, for 25 minutes. This woman is absolutely toast. I'm going to show you what Joe Biden said. I liked how Trump just backed off of it. He didn't go with it, and as a smart guy, I can tell you why. Marco Rubio comes up and says, we got some breaking news. He called you guys garbage. A smart person, a astute business person goes, I need to see it first. Let me see it. Let me see the context. Before I jump all over his face, let me see the context. When he sees the context, when he goes off stage, gets on his airplane, he's going to say to somebody, cue it up. What you got? And when he sees what Joe Biden said, and when you see what he said, you can bet your ass he's going to be playing that tomorrow. If not tonight, already on, True Social, while he's on the plane. Personally, the timing of it, in terms of in regards, where is he? Oh, he's back there. In regards to what he did with, how he did it, seemed like it was timed with the end of Kamala's speech. Maybe it was before. I'm trying to find out when the timing was. Because he effectively put a dagger in her heart. He just put it in and twisted it by calling half the country or more garbage. You stuck it in there. You just killed her campaign. Why is that? Because tomorrow, she's going to have to respond to that. I don't know how you respond to somebody calling people garbage. The President of the United States, the President supposedly of everybody, called half the people in the country or more garbage. You are garbage. Not deplorable, not anti-whatever Hillary. You are garbage. There's no coming back from that. Your friends, your family, everybody you know cannot look at you and consider that you are garbage. It can't happen. And so now, in addition to basically every Republican or conservative, this is gonna bleed over. Her campaign is done. Done. It was done before. Now it's like burnt toast done. The kind of toast you just take out the toaster and go, I'm not eating that shit. And you throw it away. Some people try to scrape off the burnt part. If you really, because some people like burnt toast and they scrape off the burnt and they swath butter over it. Well, she's burnt toast that you throw away. She's discardable at this point. Because when I'm showing you right now what he said, then you have to listen to what she said. All right, so this is going to be Biden. It's a short clip. I'll play it a couple times, but here you go.
Or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. is the only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
There's no way to get away from that. There is no context. The only garbage I see floating around out there are Trump's supporters. There's no coming back from that. Maybe as a senator, maybe as a mayor, maybe you cannot be president and call half the people in the country garbage. They're your garbage, Joe. We all, if you're our president, then you just told us all we're garbage. Less than human. So what's Kamala have to do? She's the vice president. She's going to have to come out and say, Joe didn't have his oatmeal, or he was sitting in, poo-poo diaper. Something happened. So maybe all this was choreographed so they can 25th Amendment him out and go, he's cuckoo, now we got to remove him. I don't know. Or maybe he said, I'm gonna put the final dagger in this witch's campaign. I'm going to come out a week before she speaks. A week before the election. And I'm going to tell the world, I think you're all garbage. Oh, okay. Don't think Trump's not going to seize on it. He's going to want to see it first. Just like you just did. Garbage. Garbage. I have never heard any elected politician refer to somebody like that. In fact, I don't know, it's even below Nazi. I think garbage is here, Nazi's like right above it. Speaking of Nazi, this is what she had to say tonight.
And those who came before us, the patriots at Normandy and Selma, Seneca Falls and Stonewall, on farmlands and factory floors, they did not struggle, sacrifice, and lay down their lives only to see us cede our fundamental freedoms. They didn't do that only to see us submit to the will of another petty tyrant. These United States of America, we are not a vessel for the schemes of wannabe dictators. The United States of America is the greatest idea humanity ever devised.
Notice when she said Stonewall. When she said Stonewall, there was a huge cheer. I bet if I look right here right now, not many of you know why there was such a big cheer for Stonewall. Because if you understand what Stonewall is, then you realize all those people you heard, what they were cheering for. So I'm looking to see if you guys know what the Stonewall thing was about. Because before I tell you, I'm looking to see if you guys know. Okay, you may not know. Many of you probably have no idea this because you're not like that. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I'm looking. And most of you, nobody has hit on it yet. All right. Stonewall. And nope, nobody's got it. Stonewall. Nope, not Stonewall Jackson. Stonewall was a big, huge moment in the LGBTQ SSI PPI movement. Stonewall, they all know it. You heard the cheer. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up for you so you guys can see. Okay. Here we go. Just so you guys all can see it yourselves, what this is. Let me reduce it. So she was speaking to those people, and, it's okay if that's who your crowd is, but the fact that she mentioned that, and nobody here really knew what it was. The Stonewall riots, also known as the Stonewall Uprising, the Stonewall Rebellion, or simply Stonewall, were a series of spontaneous demonstrations, i.e. riots. Let that sink in. The loudest cheer of her speech was for people applauding and yelling for the Stonewall riots. The demonstrations/riots against police that took place in the early morning hours of June 28th at Stonewall Inn, the Greenwich Village of New York City. Although the demonstrations were not the first time American gays fought back against government-sponsored persecution of those people, the Stonewall riots marked a new beginning for the gay rights movement in the United States and around the world. American gays and lesbians in the 50s and 60s faced legal system with blah, 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 blah. That cheer you just heard, the biggest cheer during her talk, was for the Stonewall riots. Oh my goodness. Timmy Walsh was probably back there doing. That's her audience. That's why they travel. They're like the Grateful Dead of politics. She's tapped into baby disposal and LGBTQI SSI PPI. And those people have their own new religion for the most part. I've said many times, I've done business with some gay people. Not that there's anything wrong with that. That's not the issue. The Stonewall riots were a long time ago. Nobody's fighting anymore. The only people in that alternative lifestyle that are fighting are the Transformers, and those who have an affinity for the Transformers, and those who want to promulgate Transformers. See, it's not the old 1950s, 1970s gay people. It's the radical, crazy Transformer crew. So you've got the baby disposal crew, and you've got the radical Transformer crew. And that was her biggest cheer tonight. So, you've got the President of the United States saying we're all garbage, and you have the Vice President of the United States in her closing speech saying the guy who, we're voting for is a tyrant, get out of here, a Nazi, fascist, where'd that bug come from? All those words bundled together. So I don't know what they're going to do tomorrow. I'm gonna be thrilled to see how they react to it. Watch the media. Again, watch this media that's getting destroyed. They won't talk about it. That's the story. You're only going to hear people like me and maybe Benny and some other people even bring it up, because these guys may zap it anyway. But that was a huge statement calling all these people garbage. Now what do? What does Kamala Harris do tomorrow? He basically took the chess piece and went, checkmate. You screwed me over. You screwed over my wife, Jill. And trust me, I'm not saying at all that I feel bad for him. I'm just saying the infighting that they're having and everything that they had planned after the election, I wonder if they can count on Joe participating. You remember, as I said earlier, none of this stuff happens without Dementia Joe saying, I approve this with the military, and I approve this and prove that with the intel. It has to come from him unless they basically put her in. So you're going to see tomorrow, there's no doubt she has to come out and make a statement. But it's too late. I mean, it's 9:18 on Tuesday evening. We're literally a week away from the elections. Trump's got two events tomorrow, 2 events on Thursday. He's going to hammer it down that you people are garbage. You nasty, vile pieces of trash, and your trashy kids and trashy life, you're garbage. That should piss you off. That should just tell you right now, hey, listen, what do you do with garbage? You discard it. You throw it away. You don't care what happens to it. You put it in the bag and you put it in the can, and then when it throws into the can, it gets smushed up, and you don't care what happens to it. It's insignificant. It's meaningless. You are now a meaningless person to be discarded and not even accounted for. Oh, Barry, you're being a little tough. No, I know what garbage is. I know when I use the word to describe someone who's garbage. I didn't want to have anything to do with them. In fact, if I saw them, I probably would go after them back in the younger days. This is bad. It's even worse for America. Because now this is going to bubble up. I guarantee you that's going to get millions of views over on X. You won't get many here. Won't get as many here because who knows what they're going to do. But if you log on to X and you get over there, you're going to see this thing literally everywhere. And if you haven't joined, go ahead and feel free to join our private group, fanfareshop.org/group. We're closing in on 7,000 patriots at this point. You can take your baby steps and learn how to use Twitter/X, but it's everywhere. You probably can just search in garbage. It'll show up. Everybody's posting it. And you see what I mean? Earlier I had said about the speed of X and how it's so fast. The news people are just shocked right now. Oh my God, what do we do? I don't know. Can we write a story? Can we do something? Can we do a piece? Oh, too late. There's a gazillion posts about it already. The dude set it into a camera. The camera got leaked. Bam, it's out there. The news is trailing. You're behind it. Now understand, I had planned on showing this to you as well, and this is really important, given what we just saw. This is from Elon Musk. Independent swing voters are overwhelmingly on X. Linda Yaccarino, who's the president of marketing, 7 days to go, and the biggest swing state is right here on X. Look at those numbers. 34 million swing state voters are on X. Out of 37 million Democrats and 32 million Republicans, 34 million of those are swing state voters. So right now, swing state voters on X are about to get inundated with Joe Biden calling his opponent and the opponent's supporters garbage. You tell me how she survives this. I expect to wake up tomorrow and see Polymarket near 69 or 70. There's no way she can survive this, which makes them even more dangerous because now they realize, oh shit, what are we going to do? Watch it. Watch out. Am I leaving YouTube after the election? No. Why would I leave YouTube? Unless they make me leave. But no, I'm not going anywhere. She's done. Yeah, she's absolutely done. Watch it. This would be funny. Barry, watch his supporters will agree with him, not realizing what he said. Oh, they'll agree with him. I don't care what they think. That doesn't matter to me. The part that matters to me are the independents, whoever out there, who just heard them call half the country garbage. How'd that work out with Hillary? Every single poll that you saw, every time you saw, like, what were they like at this date, Hillary was ahead. And she went stupid and she called everybody deplorable. Deplorable sounds like basically a very nice, hey, you're deplorable. At this point, it's a compliment because garbage now puts us even lower than a deplorable. Man, this is crazy. Biden will probably die of a massive stroke. Why are you guys so upset? Biden and Kamala showed us their respect for 4 years oppressing us to the fullest. I'm not upset. No, you're looking at the wrong emotion, brother. I'm saying she's toast. I'm kind of happy he stepped in it. I'm kind of happy that he stuck the knife in her campaign. Watch what happens over the next 24 to 48 hours. They're going to try and bury this. Maybe, and you'll see what's going on behind the scenes. If they trot him out tomorrow and he goes, I misspoke. Let me tell you about that misspeak, if that's what their excuse is going to be. If somebody calls you the N-word, you can't pull that back. Because I know what you thought. I know what you said. You can apologize, but I know what you said. I know what you think. You effing N. Oh, okay. I mean, if you survive that, if you said it to my face, but I already know what you said. I know what you meant, how you felt. You wanted to let me know I'm down here. So Biden can come out and shuffle in his diaper all he wants tomorrow and go, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have said it. No. I'm glad you said it. So no, I'm not upset. I'm glad you said it. Now I know what you really think. And the world now knows what you really think. There's no way out of this for them. None. None whatsoever. She won't say anything about it. She don't care. She has to. I mean, if she doesn't say anything, then she knows she's lost. At this point, she knows she lost. You can't unring the bell exactly. He didn't misspeak. He was reading that from a script. Whew, somebody wrote that for him. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, if you guys want to jump on X and check it out, somebody says, Mark Dice notification already on my phone, Biden's garbage comment. It's going to be everywhere. It's going to be everywhere. There is no coming back from this. I mean, basically, get your Trump gear, go dark MAGA, do whatever you need to do. It's over. Now you just got to get us to January. You got to stay safe. They're going to go nuts. At this point, they have nothing left. He just took her last campaign moment and shredded it. Flamethrower. He just lit it on fire. She's done. They have to know right now she's done. CNN can't cover this up. MSNBC. There's no way back from calling people garbage. That's it. That's it. It's done. Oh boy, this is gonna be. Am I upset? No, this is delicious. That's why Trump didn't say anything. It's like he said, oh, he did. Oh, okay. Don't count it against him. Yeah, no. We don't want to count it against him because Trump hasn't seen it yet. I'm sure his people, his entire team has all kinds of supercuts ready to go. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., all kinds of supercuts will hit tomorrow. I mean, I may do just a show on garbage tomorrow. Just seeing all the posts and all the videos that are going to come out about us being garbage. I'm telling you, it's going to flood X. It will be everywhere. I bet you if I look right now, I bet you garbage is trending. Let me just check something. Let me refresh and see if it's actually trending. Let me go back to the top. For you, I'm on the home page. I can't see where are the trends. Oh, it's everywhere. I put it this way, I can't see on the trends, but I'm just flipping through and everywhere. That's all they're talking about. Donald Trump Jr. just posted something about it. It's amazing. I'm sitting here I'm looking at this page and hitting bookmark because there's so many things I want to read. I just don't know how she could possibly come back from this. All right, so let's go ahead and read Super Chats, and let me get this bug out of my face. All right, here we go. I think Jill is behind. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. Okay, right back to the top. Okay, Arizona guy, what's going on, bro? Sitting here wearing my Believers for Trump hat. Barry, stay strong. Yes, I put up American Eagle flag today. Awesome. Mr. Krabs, what did we expect? That wasn't on my bingo card. Calling Americans trash wasn't on my bingo card. Big Cat, hey, hello, brother. Barry Cunningham is the man. Thank you. Thomas Amento, Barry, I live in Denver and sent you a super chat on October 11th that everyone in my black friend circles was voting Trump. I am so sorry if I missed that. I sent that anecdote to show Colorado can go red. I hate to say I told you so, but I told you. What's going on in Colorado? Man, if they're having to cheat in Colorado, all hell's about to break loose. Nobody foresaw that being an issue. Jimmy Gassio, great job, Barry. Love your channel. Kelly Panetsky, thank you, Barry. Thank you. John Velarde, Barry, what would happen if Trump supporters from Canada would come to Cali and vote no ID? No, I've been wondering that. How can anybody just take a flight to Cali and vote? I don't know. Load up the RV, maybe. Elia Arajo, thank you. Walter Cambias, the soul of America is alive. Yep, let's go, America, save the children. I don't know how she doesn't survive that, but then again, nobody in the media talks about the kids. Emmanuel Griffin, thank you. Walter Campus again, let's stop the financial suffering, the social disorder, and the pain at the pump. I agree. And he adds, America is Trump. Oh yeah, for sure. Especially with what's going on. Diane Torian, Barry, I've been watching your podcasts forever. You are the best. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Sam O, thank you. Larry, 1754, Trump is on track to win the popular vote and electoral college vote. That truly would be too big to rig. It could very well be a red wave sweep. Wouldn't that be awesome? It would be awesome. Oklahoma early voting tomorrow begins. Thank you. That was Gerald Etheridge. Petrast, vote equals middle finger to Kamala and the elites. Let's unite and go vote Trump. Who fights for free speech? The American people, the Constitution. Ed Sloan, Barry, you have more viewers than Fox News. Citizen journalists are the way of the future, and you're one of the forerunners. God bless. Thank you very much for saying that. God bless you as well. I'm trying. As soon as this election's over and I go to a news format, I hope you guys will stay with me. Iceberg, thank you. Nicholas Lamonicus, hey brother, thank you, Barry. God bless these families and God bless the Trump family. We need Donald Trump. I voted for him last week. Yep, my wife and I did as well. This week, Gina Duncan, Biden called Trump supporters garbage. Yes, he did. The Janelle Live, Borders, Harris, Benghazi, Women and Kids, SEAL Team 6. Miracles in God. Barry, do you listen to Whitney Webb? No, but I shall. Haven't heard from her. Don't know who she is, but I'll check her out for sure. Mega Mama, thank you. Thank you for all your due. Please give Miss Robin a hug and maybe get Midas a treat. He's knocked out. I mean, he's zonked right now. He can't wait for me to get off because he gets his evening walk, and I walk him out late at night. Carolyn Chambers, thank you. Nathan Fleming, Barry, I know you're a sports guy, so you'll understand this reference. Vince Carter. He's talking about the GIF, the meme. It's over. It's over. Yes, I do know exactly what you're talking about. Ernest Walker, no, we are the garbage collectors. Too much demon craps garbage around. Yeah, we need to collect some. Thomas Armento, Dark Brandon just became Dark Mega. That was sabotage, calling us floating garbage. You almost have to wonder, was that on purpose to destroy her? Wouldn't you like to be a fly on the wall when the two of them see each other tomorrow, or if they talk on the phone? Oh, would that be a great phone call? Somebody should tape that and leak it. Lucy O'Connor, getting ready. Get ready. Prepare. Michelle in Michigan. I think Jill is behind the Joe sabotage. She hates Harris. Revenge served cold. Yeah, very well could be. Remember, Miracles in God says, remember Raskin said after Trump is elected, they aren't going to allow him to take office. They may not have a choice at this point. This may be so big they can't do anything about it. See, one of the things that if you can tell, like how the media has been trying to say, oh, it's close, it's Nick and Tuck, it's right there, it's anybody's race right now. It's because then, if they did their shenanigans, they could justify it. But if he wins 49 Reagan-esque type landslide, all these states, won't matter because they can't go against that many people. Garbage ends up in the landfill, William says. John Pekla, gay man for Trump. There you go, brother. You should tell some of these people what Stonewall is. Pat Ziegler, thank you as always for all your work and research you do for us. Also, can you tell me what a parody account on X means? All right. So you're not allowed to impersonate somebody. So you can't be Donald Trump. But you could be Donald Trump's red tie. And then you put parody, and everybody knows you're not him. You're not trying to impersonate him. You're just basically being a parody. You're saying things that that you want to say, but under the auspices of what would Donald Trump say about that. So if you were Donald Trump's red tie, if you were Kamala Harris's teleprompter, that's what you can do when you do parody. Some of those guys are really funny too, by the way. William Flanagan, thank you. So garbage gets buried in landfill and dead people are buried in cemeteries. Is he saying we all should be dead? Doesn't care. See, if you see somebody who's dead, you still recognize them as a person. That's someone who has demised. They had some value in life. Poor person is no longer here. I don't think any of us even thinks about the garbage you take out twice a week. It's gone. I don't have any thoughts about it whatsoever. you mean absolutely nothing. You're used up trash, and we threw you away. So I think it's worse than somebody being dead or passed on, because all of us remember and think about the people that we know who have passed. Nobody sits and goes, "Ugh, I wonder where that garbage is tonight. Man, I'm really missing that garbage. I need to pray for that garbage." Never happens. So he basically said we're worse than being dead. We're insignificant. We don't mean anything. That's why it's worse. Glenda Cruz, thank you. And Danny Robinson, thank you. This will either be the best Christmas or the last Christmas. You're damn right with that one. Yeah, you are right. All right, we got we have 2 rallies tomorrow. Let me double check the times here so you guys can make arrangements, because man, people sometimes have said to me, "Why do you keep covering all the rallies?" Because there's never a dull moment. There's always something different. Last night was the Michelle Obama reveal. Hey, she said something wrong. And tonight, what was the big reveal tonight? Think back. The senator from Puerto Rico coming out and going, "Yeah, we're all for Trump." And then, of course, then you get the gift at the end. So you never know what's going to happen. So tomorrow, he is going to be in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. I will go live at about 12:30. He should be on time. The first one of the day, he should be there. And then later in the evening at 6:30 Eastern Time, he's in Green Bay, Wisconsin with Brett Favre. So at least we'll have some space in the day. As long as he doesn't do a press conference in the morning, which I can't tell you. He may end up doing a press conference in the morning to talk about this garbage stuff. And then, we're all going to scurry and try to put something together real quick. But as of right now, 12:30 and 6:30 Eastern. So thanks you guys for tuning in. Get over on X, because that's where the news is. You can tell the difference right away. There's something happening. There's something happening right now, and it takes a while for people to record videos and edit them and put them up and get notifications, where on Twitter it's like, boom. It's that, me personally, while we were talking, while he was ending his thing, I saw Ashley put it out there, "Hey, Barry just posted about it." It was like that. That's how fast news moves on X. They can't keep up. All right, talk to you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much for tuning in. All 3 shows today.